Talking about Ebony, your relationship with Ebony in Hungary.
Ebony wanted to go to Europe, and she was looking for a Schengen visa. So she went to the embassy, and coincidentally, the ambassador of Hungary, who was my junior in university, when I was in 5th year in Budapest University of Economic Sciences, the ambassador was in 1st year.
Okay.
So I was like in Ghana, you're from 5, somebody's from 1. So we are friends.
Right.
And then so he called me that there's a lady in the embassy who has come to look for me, that she was my mentor. I was a mentor, and she's been watching me when she was 9 years. Apparently, Ebony has been watching my TV program since she was 9 years old. And so that is how I got to the embassy, and I saw her.
You moved to the embassy?
Yeah, I did, because she was at the embassy. So I went to the embassy, saw her, wow, Ebony. So she hugged me, and then there was tears in her eyes. So I ministered to her, I spoke to her about Jesus Christ. This is the picture. So this is the only picture I have with Ebony, the first and the last time. I saw her physically only once in my life. This was the picture. And this is the embassy of Hungary. So I witnessed to her, she accepted Christ, she cried, and she promised on Friday she was going to Bechem to meet her mother in Sunyani, and then on Friday she would join my wife and I. She always called, she spoke to my wife and everything. I could use my phone in the embassy, but her phone was kept at the entrance. So it was my phone that was used to take all these pictures. This was on my phone. And then I forwarded it to her. So that was the last image she had on her Instagram. And that is why it was BBC African Service that called me to tell me Ebony was dead.
You didn't hear it from anywhere else?
No, BBC African Service called me and said my spiritual daughter was dead. When then they mentioned it. So my wife and I were lying in bed, and I said, this was the lady we took the picture. I took the picture with 3 days. That's how. Barbara said that. She said she was even going to come to church with us on Friday. So we called Obuo, and Obuo took us to their family home in Dansoman. And when I got to the home, I realized that they needed help.
Were you shocked?
Shock is an understatement. I thanked God rather for her, that at least she met Christ 72 hours before she was called into glory. When we got to the place, Obuo said how much they were going to contribute from Musica for her coffin and for her funeral. And I thought, this will not go anywhere. So I said, they should leave the coffin with me, I'll buy it. And they should leave this part with me. And the father went on a knee and thanked me.
So what kind of help did they need? Financial help?
I did help financially.
Now, when you say they needed some sort of financial help, people thought Ebony was making enough money, and so...
Ebony had nothing. You can quote me everywhere, and I'm happy with saying this on the telephone. Ebony was not 21 years old when she died. She died before she became 21. Ebony's biggest contract with Bullet and they even have a team, whatever the team is, had not materialized before she died. Ebony had also never gone to Europe before she died. The only privilege she was going to have to go abroad was what connected me that she was going to go before she died. So she never really had a breakthrough. She was in a pipeline for a major breakthrough that never happened. So when she died, the truth was that it was rather the death of Ebony that even opened certain doors. And of course, the father was smart enough to walk into it. I arranged a visa for them to go on the tour in Europe.
Oh, wow.
Ebony's parents, yes. You can quote me anywhere. I did.
Do you still have a good relationship with them?
We have a relationship. I've not seen Kwame for some time now, but we have a relationship. I mean, there's no reason to not have a relationship.
Right.
In fact, he has been very grateful. He's been very thankful. He has shown gratitude. I went out of my way. And the other thing about Ebony is that for me, I saw Ebony's funeral as a crusade.
Yeah,
and I
realized.
didn't mince my words on that. I asked myself, how can Shatawale come to church? How can Free Schwarzenegger come to church? How can Bukum Bako come to church? How can Stone Boy come to church? How can call me some of the names? They were all there. And everybody around the globe watched that program live. So I took it as a World Cup. I preached the gospel. And if you look at the message I preached, I didn't mince my word. I preached the message that I didn't come to preach for the dead, I came to preach for the living.